to mercy. We live?
And
Oh!
you just sitting there.
I'm sorry. I have my music ready to go.
Unbelievable.
Well, I'm sorry. I was playing with it. I was excited.
Buenas noches, mi gente.
Oh, here you go.
I hope everybody had a great Wednesday.
I'm sorry. I was playing with it.
He always has to be a clown.
I'm not being a clown.
Okay. Well, buenas noches and welcome to WATERMARK PODCAST con la Margarita and...
It's your boy, a.k.a. Professor, a.k.a. your cousin, your
Hello,
uncle,
Sonia.
and your best friend. What up, Nancy? What up, Sonia? What up, everybody? Holla. What's going on? How you doing? What's up, Margarita?
What's up? What's up?
Hola. ¿Cómo está?
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y vos?
You said my huevos. I'm talking about my huevos. What's wrong with you?
I said y vos.
That's like
And
E2?
you, yes.
Why you say E vos? Isn't that E2?
Vos y tú, it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's Castilian?
Yes.
Oh, shit. Why you do that to me? I was rolling with my Spanish, and you just trying to make me look bad. For that,
I
more
don't
music.
really gotta work hard at that. Well, to start off the day, I would like to say happy birthday to Eric.
And for those who don't know who Eric is, let them know.
Eric Chapman. And it is his second birthday in heaven. So, happy birthday, Eric.
And your relation to Eric. I mean, because it's going to be people, you act like we got 2 viewers. We got more than 2 people. Like everybody, we got 2 right now, but it's going to be worldwide. So you should tell them who Eric is.
Happy birthday to Eric Chapman, my husband, who is celebrating his second birthday in heaven today.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? Listen, I don't know what other people, everybody else gets sad. Listen, that's why you love people hard when they living,
Yes.
okay? And we're going to talk about grieving, what do you do when people, when that happens. We're going to talk about that today.
But the show is what? How did we get here? Where do we go from here?
Where do we go from here?
Where do we go?
So when something happens in your life, where do you go? After a tragedy happens,
No.
What?
Oh, tragedy. I guess it can
It's a
all be-
tragedy
but
when
it's
it
a
happens.
breakup, a divorce, or death.
We're gonna dwell on each one. I think each one of them have its own little elements, don't it?
They do.
Yeah, the finality of death, the breakup, the anxieties that come with that. Shoulda, wouldas, and couldas, and then what else was it?
Divorce.
And divorce. And divorce. I was told divorce is another form of death.
Yes.
Now,
I think.
what up, Ron?
Hola, Marina. I believe that. I would say a divorce carries more pain
Then what?
than death. I'll tell you why. You just said the finality of death, right? In a divorce, you're so broken. You're grieving the death of your marriage, of your relationship with someone you loved, someone you made vows with.
Right.
Correct? And 2 months, and then once you start being okay with it, you're going to run into that person again, right? It's going to bring back a whole bunch of emotions, a lot of confusion. Maybe the anger will rise. Or maybe you're at a good place already with God. Or
maybe you see that person and go, ha ha.
But then death, it's final. You're going to have those memories. You're going to run into something, a deja vu that's going to make you sad, but you're never going to see that person again. So I think you get through it with a little more ease than you would with a divorce. Because a divorce, especially if you got children, you're going to keep running into somebody who, because of the death of that relationship, left you shattered.
If you see me, while she talking, I'm gonna uncork this bottle of champagne, cause today we popping bottles.
Hola, Bernice.
So I said, you're absolutely right, Margie.
Thank you, Sonia.
You know what, Sonia? You never said I'm absolutely right about nothing, Sonia. Okay? So, at this point in time, excuse yourself from the conversation, okay?
He just seemed like he's hating a bit. I don't know. It could just be me, but if you share the same, chime in.
That I'm hating?
Yeah, be jealous when people be saying compliment. Where is Andrea?
Yeah.
You be hating when Andrea be complimenting.
Oh, yeah, she better not compliment you. Where is she at anyway?
You having a problem?
We popping bottle. Bah, bah, bah. Oh, here we go. And this is for Eric for his birthday. What, we have Veterans Day, and it's a lot of stuff going on. But this is just for our man Eric right here. And salute. And we're gonna sip on this a little bit. You know, this is not real liquor. This is apple cider vinegar. What? I'm sorry. We you popping bottles? Yeah, Bernice, and it's good too. It's good. Got a little twang to it. I mean, it's good. It's good. Got some ripple in it.
Oh my goodness! Yeah,
it got some ripple in it. Yeah, man. Oh, now we're gonna have to do some news for you guys. A lot of news is going on. First of all, what are you doing?
I hate the way it looks.
You hate the way it looks? Okay. Now listen up, real quick. We're gonna do some news, and then we're gonna get back into the relationship part. Listen up. If you know about the news, then good. If you don't, you probably need to learn some shit anyway.
Well, somebody told me today, a Republican.
Okay.
From Connecticut.
Hold on. You got some news?
Yeah, he told me. I don't know. I can't confirm nor deny. Have a drink on you. Yes, this is for Eric. He would have loved this. 52 he would have been today.
Yeah, he's 52? Oh, he looked so young. And it's so... When you start dressing him, he looked really nice. Anyway. Before that, he used to wear Garanimal clothes. And then he looked like a grown man after y'all started being together. I said it, and whoever don't like it, no, I'm not lying, so you can't say anything.
Jesus. Anywho, so he was telling me, so how do you feel about all that corruption going on in Florida? And I was like, corruption?
In Florida? What up, Steph?
I said, what do you mean? The Republicans were stealing the ballots again? And he said, no, it was the Democrats. So I don't know. What have you heard about that? What's going on politically here?
Politically, okay, you already know.
They're saying that the Democrats are robbing or stealing or
the elections was a big to do. First of all, I'm gonna say I know a lot of people told me that we kind of spawned some of them, got them going to go vote, and I love that. That's us, using our power and your power to incite you to go vote. So thank you for going to vote. Midterm elections, I think this is one of the biggest midterm elections we've had in years of turnout. Republican in it. I'm not going to go Republican or Democrat. I'm not going to really do party stuff, but I'm going to tell you that it's a big shift in how things are being looked at. And in this state, we always got problems with the counts and the votes. Okay, there's always something going on. What up, Kim?
Who is Angela Santana?
What up?
No, the Democrats. No, I'm sorry.
Well, let me tell you something. The Democrats are now they
why are they accusing the Democrats
of stealing?
Of the corruption here in Florida?
No. Well, they are. But I don't think that's. I think that one thing our good governor.
Have you heard about it?
Just our good governor, automatically said that he had won the Senate race.
Damn liberal.
That he had won the race, which he really didn't won. See, when Gillum already had said. With Gillum and the other guy, Gillum had kind of said, I concede that you won. But he really shouldn't have did. He should have waited till all those ballots be counted in. Because, Florida is notorious for not counting all their ballots. Okay? So then in the senator race, that Bill Nelson and our good governor, that the governor already went up and said, thank you for the win. I appreciate it. Scott already had his plan. He already did that. And Bill was kind of smart. I think he took a lot from the young lady in Georgia who refused to allow that. The young lady in Georgia, she would have been the first black governor in Georgia if she had won. I can't remember her name. And when she looked like she was going to lose, she did not concede, and she's making them do a recount.
Good, that's smart.
Okay? And you should make it do a recount. I think we had the same issue with Bush. And
but they robbed it, you know.
Yeah. So you gotta, so only I know our job was to make sure that you get politically savvy and go out and start to vote. So again, get that in, okay? If you listen to us, we about to run some news down, and that was some good news. I'm so proud of you that you had some news.
It was my friend in Connecticut. He brought it up.
Have a little bit more. Listen, we about to get turned up, so I don't know.
Vicky, Natalie, welcome.
I don't know. Okay, if you didn't hear the news, I'm going to run some things down to you.
You should have been prepared.
I know I am prepared. I just want to get it in the right tone. In Barbu High Schoolers, okay, they took a photo, okay, and it was a graduation photo in Wyoming. Whole bunch of white students, one black and another young man, and all of them when the guy told them to pose, they all posed in a Hitler stand, like a third Reich stand.
Stacey Abrams, and he says she's corrupt too.
And she's corrupt too.
This is my Republican friend.
Oh, that's Stephanie?
That's Victor.
Okay, she's corrupt too. Well, I'll get back to that.
He's the Puerto Rican Republican I was talking to you about.
Stephanie?
No.
Is a Republican?
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
What's the name of the Republican guy? Victor? Where's he at? Is he on?
He's right here. Hey, your friend in Connecticut is
watching. What up, Connecticut? Here we go. Bridgeport is sneaking in the conversation. Okay. Now, they all did the Heil Hitler sign, and then that thing went viral. So you have
Andrea.
What up, girl? You have all of those kids on their graduation picture doing a Hitler sign, pledging to the Third Reich. Okay? Now, only one kid did not do that. He said he absolutely would not do that. It went viral. What it showed? It showed that all those kids was having some detrimental conversation in a small town, that all of them were white supremacists.
Except for the one.
The one kid and one black kid. And the one black kid was sitting there smiling. Poor baby. He didn't know what was going on. He don't know no history or nothing. He just sitting there with his eyes just looking as dumb as a box of rocks. And he didn't know what was going on.
Maybe he was smarter than you. Maybe he played.
If you see a whole bunch of white kids talking about Heil Hitler, you might want to move your ass out the damn way, okay? Because they got plenty. You know what? They probably didn't. Whatever happened, do some homework. Check that out. That's some fascinating things going on with the school. Okay, it was in Barbu High School, photographed during the Nazi salute. Okay,
where?
In Wyoming. It's at a high school. Next one, I got Mega Millions. The 1.5 million in South Carolina has not been claimed. Okay. Has not been claimed. The $1.5 million has not been claimed. Somebody's walking around with a ticket in South Carolina and with $1.5 million and don't know it. I need to get some of that money. If whoever it is, if you are scared to spend it, don't know how to spend it, and want some help to spend it, please call us. We will gladly find something for that to happen. I'm taking half of that 1.5 million. I'm gonna rebuild Harlem, and the other half we're going to Puerto Rico. And we're gonna rebuild Puerto Rico. Okay, here we go. Next. Next. Oh yeah, a thief went and robbed a sex toy place, and they thought he was coming in to steal money, but only thing he wanted to do was bag dildos. He got caught.
Why? For why?
They never asked him. They probably didn't want to know.
Why
they didn't even ask him. They thought he was coming in to rob the place, so he just robbed sex toys and he got the hell up out of there. They caught him though.
Weird.
Oh wow!
Come on, that's not enough. That's not. You're making me hungry for this information.
You wasn't hungry until we started talking about sex toys, and now you want to know. Okay, you nasty ass. Okay, hold on. Where was the sex toys? Sex toys. I got a lot of stuff on here, but the sex toys. We'll get
to it.
Okay, Her name was Jermil Charlo, bag thief. Oh, no, that's something else. Let me, one more thing. I gotta go. We're going to the news.
Mm-hmm.
A boxer, Jermel Charlo, bag thief, suspected, arrested. He was arrested, at a club, right? Mm-hmm. At Jay-Z's club, the 4040. They had a big melee. And Jermel Charlo was arrested for stealing a Louis Vuitton bag filled with, let me get the right numbers. He had $15,000 in diamonds, $75,000 championship ring, and $10,000. What happened? What is it?
Says, riddle me this, please. Why is Byron always wearing a headset and always doing the least amount of listening?
Who said that, Kim?
No, I'm just saying.
You know what, Kim? You said you was going to be somewhat decent today, and I was going to invite you to our next podcast to sit and talk, but you just played yourself. You're off the to-do list, okay? And I will drink in your honor, but we will never talk to you again. Anyway, at the Jay-Z's club, they're suing Jay-Z because they said he didn't have enough security there. Okay. And the guy had all this money stolen at his club. Now, my question is, why are you at the club with $15,000 with a diamond bracelet, $75,000 championship ring, $10,000 Cartier ring, and $40,000 in cash in the club?
Because he either has a small penis or he's a very, very insecure man and he's trying to have the outerwear make him feel and seem important. Because why else would you have to done all of that stuff on you? Like, look at me, look at me, look at me. So something's going on right there. It's something internal.
You think the reason why he had all that money is because he has a little dick?
It could be, I didn't say it that way. He lacks self-esteem.
Okay.
Self-trust and self-love. Obviously, if he had everything he owns, he has to be.
Well, he had all, and then now he's suing Jay-Z because it was all stolen in the club.
Because now who is he without all of those expensive items? He's nobody.
Yeah, I think that's crazy that you would take the time to take all that to the club. And last but not least, the last bit of news: if you're driving a Kia. Be on the lookout. They're having a lot of callbacks, almost 1 million callbacks in Kia, so they're burning up, okay? Now, I have a friend who has a Kia, and he's confused that his Kia is a BMW, and I keep telling him a Kia is not a BMW, okay? He thinks he's in the ultimate sports car. If you drive a Kia, please make sure that you be mindful that they are burning up, okay?
Are they?
Yes, ma'am. They're doing a huge recall on Kias, okay? Now, I'm going to say it from the bottom of my heart. If you drive a Kia and it's not acting right, good. Because everybody who got a Kia think they got a real sports car. And I keep telling them, there ain't no damn real sports car, okay? That's a little cheap-ass car from Korea. And if you drive the car, it's going to break down. And if somebody throw a small dick. Bernice, please stay out of this, Bernice, okay? Bernice is just, anytime you say some dick or ass, she jumps right into the conversation. Bernice, you stay away, okay? But Kim said, my point exactly. Love to you, Margarita. What's all this love?
Love to who?
Margarita.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Now
he said it right.
Now he's a broke dude with possibly a small penis.
What is up with you over talking about small penises and broke dudes? If a guy shows out with a lot of money, then he usually has a little penis.
No, what did you say? He was wearing $40,000 in days, $75,000. Yeah. So what does that say about a person who has to be wearing all of this bling bling out there and bragging about what this has and bringing out like all this money out of his pocket to show off? What are you camouflaging? What are you covering up? What? So now they took away everything that made him a man. So of course he's gonna sue.
I don't know if I had that much money, would I go to the club with that much money? You know, to me that's silly too. You know, like you see Floyd Mayweather, and he'll have a bag of money, he'll open it up, and it'd be thousands and thousands of dollars, and they go to the club. You know, like, and they see strippers, and they take the money, throw it in the air at the strippers, and then they make it rain. I think if I threw the money up in the air before I hit the floor, I would catch it all in the air and put it back in my bag. Because I can't just give out money like that. No, I wouldn't do that. But that could be the case.
You lied.
I would not throw away that much money like that. Thousands of dollars of money. Oh no. Now I don't know. I never had millions to throw away. But if I had millions to throw away, I do not think I'd be taking $10,000, just throwing it up in the air, giving it to some strange broad I never seen before and probably will never see again. So that would be a no. Maybe Kim would, but I wouldn't. Gotcha, Kim. Okay. Topic. Ready to roll?
Go ahead.
Where do we go from here? Now, the topic of today was where do we go from here? What we talking about, Eric, and the death, and to me, it's a celebration. One thing I know for a fact, in my culture, from being majority of my family being from Louisiana, when a person dies, we really think about it as a celebration. It's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, "Oh my God, that's terrible." Two things I'm gonna say. One, when a person passes, that gives you a good time for you to look at how you're viewing stuff and how did you treat that person. I always will tell you, like my mother said, give me my roses while I'm alive. So I will always tell people before, where do you go from there? You treat people before you get to the point of the death. You treat that person with some love and respect while they're alive. And then that death won't hit you as hard. Now, let me tell you something about grief. Before we even get into this.
What he says.
What he said is throw some food stamps, but I can't keep up with Kim. Kim is writing dissertations again. You got to read that while I'm talking, okay? Grief, real quick. When a person dies, and everybody listen real quick. Before we start this, think of this. If you lose a pen, your favorite pen, you grieve. Mm-hmm. Everybody has to deal with grief one way or the other. So people say, "Well, I'm not grieving," and grief is a cycle or continuum, and it goes through stages. Like you'll be angry, then you'll rationalize it, and then then you'll accept it, and then all these things go on. So what we'll do it today and on Friday, because we're gonna do it on Friday, is we're gonna talk about grief cycles and how that goes into where do you go from there? Because you got to kind of understand where you're at in the cycle to keep moving in the direction you need to move into. Okay? Go.
Because before anything else, you must decide to move forward. A lot of people get stuck where they're at. And a lot of people don't know how to handle grief, whether it's a divorce or death, because you're expected to grieve a certain way.
Right.
Like what the masses expect you to grieve. And what happens with that is when you decide to take your own course and grieve your way, it opens up a whole bunch of bullshit from everyone else's opinion. But the only way for you to heal your way is never to get over it. It's always to work getting through it. Because let's look at it as a tunnel. So you're going to go through this tunnel of grief. And it's going to be hard. It's going to be painful. You're going to be peeling back the scab off the wounds and pouring the alcohol on it, and you're just going to be in pain, and you're going to be angry, and you're going to be feeling all those negative emotions, but let it. You have to allow yourself to feel all of those emotions, whether you need to speak to somebody, or whether you need to do something creatively, or whether you need to do what I do and go to Spain and walk 500 miles in 31 days. The choice is always yours, but there must be a choice. There must be a choice of how you're going to grieve and deciding to move forward. And yeah, you're going to tug that grief with you until little by little, it's just going to go away. And the grief isn't going to be as deep, as raw, as painful as it was in the initial attack. So I would say that the 3 crucial steps you must take right after leaving the crossroads of the neutral zone. Sure, you can interrupt me because you do it all the time.
No. Because you rolling with the grief part. Well, so before we did it, can I give them the stages of grief real quick?
Of course.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Are those the new ones?
Yeah.
They redid them.
So tell me if these are not the new ones, okay? So grief, we're going to talk about grief, and we're going to go over some stages real quick. Shock usually is the first part, okay?
Shock? Show us.
Shock. Shock, okay? But denial. It didn't happen. Yes, it did happen. No, it didn't. I'm not with that.
This can't be happening.
Yeah, it can't be happening. Why me? And all that. Denial, okay? Anger It's your fault that happened. If you had to do this right, if you had to said this, if you had to treated me a different way, or if you didn't, or you had to took care of daddy better, it would have never happened. Anger, okay? Then bargaining. That part I've always struggled with the bargaining, but bargaining.
The bargaining.
You got something?
Yes, I do.
Help me out with the bargaining. Because the bargaining piece, I always kind of didn't understand it. And that part, Kim, you could have jumped in on that one. When you're bargaining with a death or with a loss, I never understood how that would work. But I know that you're going back and forth. To me, it's a tug and war. How you're trying to figure that out in your head, how that works. And that's the bargaining part.
Well, yeah, because you ask, you'll do anything, because the pain is so intolerable, right?
That's bargaining.
Yeah, I know, but I want to read that part. Well, no, Jesus, see, this is the problem. You need to keep your eyes off my paper.
I like your paper. You have nice work.
It says you're willing to do anything to avoid accepting it's over. So you'll be better, more attentive to your partner. It's like you're going to do everything that you don't need to do. You're going, hello, Tiffany.
What up,
Tiff? Everything that's been wrong, you're going to try to make right, even though it wasn't your fault. The thought of being without your ex is so intolerable that you will make your own pain go away by winning him or her back at any cost. Of course, you're not logical at this point. Probably shouldn't be operating heavy machinery. Because with that mentality, you're a danger not only to yourself, but anyone around you. Because you're not seeing straight. You're just, the pain, you just want to ease the pain. And without realizing that, first of all, for me, pain reminds me that I'm alive. And pain reminds me that it's okay, I'm going to get through this because God only knows I've gotten through much more.
Pain reminds you that you're alive?
Pain because if you don't feel, you're dead. So, and how else am I going to enjoy the fruits of my labor going forward in life if I don't feel that raw, deep pain?
So you're saying you're looking to, you're okay with feeling it and you're okay with it?
Well, it's not that I'm okay with it. The fact is, I had to deal with the death of someone who didn't die in a heartbeat in an accident. He died slowly for 5 years.
And that's different. And that's different than a lot of people with something like the shock.
But it's like a marriage that slowly has been dying. And the difference with how Eric took his leave gracefully is that we knew and we accepted the fact that although we all gonna die, right? That Bernice wrote something. That although we're all gonna die.
If you're hearing noise right now, we're outside and it's starting to rain.
In my tin roof.
In the tin roof, so there's a lot of noise going on. Just bear with us. I'll make it stop raining real quick, and then we'll get back to you. No, go ahead.
So we accepted the fact that the prognosis of him dying within 2 to 5 years was going to happen. So when your marriage is dying, people don't acknowledge it. They think that by maybe taking the other person out on a date or buying them an expensive gift or maybe having like a tantric session, a hot loving and relation night, that's going to solve the problem. And the next morning, maybe kiss each other good morning, and then you go back to your routine. You go back to your old self because you're just putting Band-Aids on it. So if you ignore the signs...
It's raining his ass off.
I love it. So if you are ignoring the sign that your marriage is dying, don't complain when the smell of rot hits you in the face because you chose to ignore it.
Bernice has said that she's feeling sad about loss, okay? And I'm going to tell you that when a loss hits you, that's okay. What we was talking about before, feel like she said, understand that pain is real and feel that pain and work off that pain. Because if you don't work off that pain, it kind of leaves you stuck. And when holidays do come up, that does bring some energy and some feelings. No different than a song that you might hear. But I would tell you through all of that, make sure that you understand, especially if you did or you didn't do the best with that person when they was alive. Now, what happens to me, how it fuels me, is the next person I know, I can do a little bit better with them. And I can show some love a little bit more with them and help them get through it. So
pain reminds you that you are alive. Because within that pain, you are learning how to be better.
Can y'all hear us? Okay. If y'all can't, let us know. And then we'll talk a little louder. Because, it decided to have a monsoon while we was out here. Right? We're dry. We're safe.
And we didn't know it was going to rain.
We did not know like this. We all strive on. But if you can't hear us, let us know. Bernice, hold your head up. Feel the pain, like she said. And embrace someone else new now. Number one, yourself. And be okay that you be okay with yourself. Be okay with yourself and accept. Acceptance is really hard. You know what I'm saying? But remember, I keep thinking people excuse acceptance with like, and just because you accept something doesn't mean you like it. Accepting something
but it's the getting to the acceptance, because when you're dealing with the death of a relationship, a divorce,
the rain is loud as hell.
Because it's my tin roof.
I'm gonna make it stop raining soon.
So when you're dealing with all of that, you're so busy focusing on why did this happen? So you're desperate on the why. The drive to know is consuming and can come at the expense of rational thought and behavior, right? That's number one.
Yeah,
dealing with grief and the breakup. Two is the denial. Did you go through all of yours? Yeah. Because of denial, it can't be true. This cannot be happening to us. We had plans. We bought a house. We have a 30-year mortgage. The list goes on, and you keep harping on those things because it's your way of latching on because you're not ready to let go. So, because you just feel you cannot be with that person even though your relationship has been miserable for the last 12 months. Okay? So then the bargaining comes in and you're willing to do anything to avoid accepting that it's over. So you act a fool, you look stupid in front of all your friends and family, and you don't take advice from people who have had similar situations with you.
You know what, that gets me. I like what you said. When you know somebody, a lot of times when you're hurting and you do have some viable people around you. Now, what? I'm looking in the background. That's a nasty ass picture you got behind it.
They can't see it on Facebook.
They can't see it on Facebook? Where is it?
I think I'm blocking it.
There we go. Y'all see that nasty ass picture she got there? Oh my goodness. I was looking at that, seeing all them breasts and stuff. Oh no, that is terrible.
That is not.
That is terrible. What do you do all day? What I'm saying? No, you don't. You sit right and you sit and draw breasts all day.
First of all,
breasts.
I paint.
Breasts.
Say it correctly.
You paint breasts.
Who has a problem with the naked body of a voluptuous woman?
Oh, I have no problem with it.
Speak your mind, whoever.
It was throwing me off looking at the reflection of it. But that's nice.
It shows on that one.
Yeah. Are you selling that?
Yes, I am.
How much?
That one right there, that one's 100.
Oh, that is very reasonable. Listen, somebody, let's get this picture out of here. Okay, somebody come buy that. Have you seen it before? The breast picture. What's the name of it? I'm gonna call it the breasts are up.
Release.
See? It's called release. She was getting rid of something. So that picture is off the chain. And we finally got rid of the rain. Okay? Let me tell you something. I love that it rained and it came and it left.
Cleansing. Rain is cleansing.
And it's cleansing. And the whole time when we're talking about, we want you to kind of get excited about cleansing and starting new. And doing something different when you are in a painful part. Now, let me tell you. Breakups are very painful. In any way you do that, you got to work on being mindful of trying to mend things together. Mm-hmm. But before then, you got to understand where you're at.
Yeah, so before you could even try to put a double Band-Aid on it, you have to go through it. So then the bargaining, as you were talking about, that you shouldn't operate heavy material, heavy machinery. Then you got the relapse. Because the pain is so intolerable, you may actually be able to convince your ex to try again. You will temporarily relieve the agony of withdrawal. And it's not even about, I don't think half the time it's about the person. Because throughout your relationship, you knew it was dying. The other person wasn't stimulating you. You knew that you were going the opposite direction, and nobody stopped to say, hey, let's talk about this. Where are we going? What direction are we going on? So if you didn't do that during the course of the actual isolation and separation, then once it's over, it's going to be over. So you'll try. You'll try to convince them to go back, and you're only going to temporarily, because both of you may be a little confused, because although you were like two ships in the night during your relationship, now that you're actually separated, there's a lot of fear. What am I going to do? How did I get here? What's my purpose? We had plans. Now I got to start all over. All this stuff starts floating in your head, cause you to hyperventilate, get high blood pressure, you start getting anxiety. Nothing seems right. So then what happened? So you will temporarily relieve the agony of withdrawal. However, despite your best effort, you will not be able to carry the relationship solo. So one out of the two of you really doesn't want to be in this relationship, obviously.
How do you know that? How do you know when that? How do you know?
If you and I in a relationship and it went south and we're separated now, one of us didn't want it more than the other.
True.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay? So in the relapse, it's not going to end well. It's probably going to end worse this time, because the confirmation of the death of that relationship is going to feel like you went to two funerals with the same people.
You know what? But a lot of people, when they associate death with a regular relationship, a lot of people fight that word.
Hello, Rob. Hello, Rachel.
They fight that word. To say to associate death with a relationship. When you talk about death with people, somebody dying, that's one thing. When you say death with a relationship,
why is that? Why would you think that? Why would you think that people have a problem
with saying death with a relationship?
Because it is a death of a relationship.
No, because yes, but I'm saying I understand that, but they fight it because of the death means finality.
Hi, Erica. But it is final.
But in a relationship, if you still want it to happen, then you have hope that it still would change.
But I believe in hope, but sometimes hope leads us down the wrong path.
Explain.
Because I can have hope that my relationship with that Eric is going to come back to me, but is he?
No. But see,
but it's the same way in a relationship. When you listen, we talked about this.
But if the person is still alive, there's an opportunity for it to happen. If the person is dead, there is no opportunity there.
And that's where the relapse keeps happening. Because you wanted to make it work so bad, and the other person's going to end up feeling sorry for you. Now, do you want somebody to take you back for pity?
Okay, but I'm saying, but death, but then it's not death to me. Because it's an ending of some sort, but death to me is so final.
A divorce?
A divorce. I can work with the divorce word.
But that's what we're talking about. A relationship. Okay,
but I'm saying, but a lot of people, you're not the only person that said that. A lot of people say when you divorce me, it's like death. To me,
everything changed, especially if the other person already found somebody. To me,
that's dramatic. That's dramatic.
You know why it's dramatic? Because a lot of men they think like this.
Like what?
Like this.
What's that?
And that's their main problem.
What's that? What's that?
That is their main, like this, with fucking blinders on. So they only want to see what they see and then expect everybody else to understand them, and they don't want to open up and just express themselves. So we're supposed to be guessing for you, figuring out what the hell we want, taking care of everything else. No, we get tired. And the thing is that because you think that saying the death of a divorce is what was your words exactly?
It's dramatic.
It is not dramatic. It is fact. Someone you love dying of a disease that nobody gives a shit about. Haven't tried to figure out.
But no, that's
dramatic. If it's dead, it's dead, Papa.
But a relationship, if the person's alive, you still have the opportunity to go back.
No, the same way you wake up one day and you're so in love with somebody. 5 5 years down the road, you can wake up and look at that same person and love them and care for them, but not be in love with them. And it's okay. That's the death of that relationship as far as the marriage or a sexual, intimate relationship. Not a friendship. I think you're putting them all together. It doesn't mean that you're never going to speak to that person again, but that relationship is dead.
I don't agree, but we can agree to disagree.
Who disagrees?
I think when women are putting, when people are putting the word death to the end of the relationship, I think death is death to me. The ending of something, or somebody dying in the grave.
The ending of something, you just said it. It is the ending of a union. Look at it that way, of a union.
Of it.
It is a final thing. Listen, my son's father was over 18 years ago, and it's so over because he won't even speak to me. It has been 18 years he won't speak to me because it was over 18 years ago.
Okay, so we'll call that dead.
If you're the type of person that want to continue going back to somebody it's been over, then maybe that's why you can't comprehend that when something ends, it's over. So death is a good definition.
Are we sliding? Is this a shade, everyone? No. Are you doing? I thought we were just having a regular conversation. She said.
So anyway, anger. Let's go to anger.
Look, bastard. If you the motherfucker who keep going back over and over shit, then your ass need to die.
That's it. So anger. So initially, you may not be able to connect the feelings of anger because breaking up plummets you into the unknown. You become just weak, and it's like you lose all your dignity and all your values go out the window, and you would just sleep outside this chick's window as she's inside with another guy because she left you because you believe that the love is still there and you can work it out. Then that turns to anger, which can be dangerous. But therefore, when anger sets in, it's because you have let go of some of your fear, at least temporarily. Because when you first end a relationship, you're working so hard to get them.
So I got that. Get that part. Sonia said that she thinks that you can mourn the death of your marriage or relationship. And I understand what you're saying, Sonia. That that's the way. My only piece is that I think when we tie it to the death of a person and the death of a relationship, and we use it in the same context, I just have problems with that because I'd say to me the death of a person going in the grave is so final that I can't talk with the person. I couldn't even try to send them flowers or try to rub their feet or even try to convince them to come back. But when the person's alive, to me, if I still truly love them, I still have the opportunity to try to manipulate and get back with them if I try to. Even though in their mind is dead, I still have the hope that the opportunity can still be there. That's the only thing I'm saying.
And you know what? And it's okay to have that hope. But you must have it in a way that it's realistic. And a lot of people try to get that hope that it's going to work out by all means necessary, that they just become lethargic. They can't go to work because they're too busy stalking that person, trying to, everywhere they go, showing up.
Chime in, y'all. Chime in.
How much they need that person. The other one is the initial acceptance. Now we're into acceptance.
Here we go.
After you have been through the desperate for answers, the why, I don't understand, right? The denial, this can't be true. The bargaining that, everything, I'll do anything you want, anything you need, I got you. The relapse, actually, what the relapse to me is where you're actually begging that person that destroyed and shattered your heart into 1,000,000 pieces to come back to you.
That's the relapse?
That's the relapse.
Okay.
This person not only shattered your heart and dropped you to the ground, but actually spit and kicked you while you were down there and walked away.
Damn.
But you...
Why you make it so ugly?
Because that's what it is. To your soul, to your spirit. You're not honoring your spirit when some...
So you're saying when a person breaks up, right? Because we will move past the death. Now we're talking about just relationship parts. Okay? Now, a person breaks up, right? Yeah, if you go back to that person, then you're allowing yourself to what?
No, don't misconstrue what I'm saying.
Wow, that's why I'm asking, sister.
We're talking about the death of a relationship.
Right.
When it's dead and it's gone and the person doesn't want to accept it, they will lose all their morals, their values, and will actually succumb to begging and pleading and making promises that they can give them anything they want so long as they come back to them.
Okay.
And this is the same person that not only shattered your heart, but dropped you to the ground and either kicked or spit on you on their way as they're
So they're bargaining at that point.
So, Jesus, now you're messing me up with
I'm asking.
That's the relapse.
That's the relapse. But isn't that kind of bargaining?
Well, yeah, they go together. 3 and 4.
Right. That's what I'm asking.
And then the 5th one was anger.
You're the genius here.
I'm not a genius.
I don't know this stuff. I'm just asking.
Andrea thought it was a bargain.
Oh, wow. See?
But a relapse is also you would temporarily leave the agony of withdrawal. However, despite your best efforts, you will not be able to carry the relationship solo. So in the bargaining piece, you're promising to do anything and everything that person wants to make it right. Mm-hmm. That's also like with the relapse. Mm-hmm. Because now you're actually saying, I'm going to do everything for the both of us just so long as we're together.
That you going to hold everything down. Pay the light, gas, water, feed, cook, scrub the floor.
And then 6 is the initial
I need some shit like that.
acceptance. Come on, Stephanie Acosta, what do you have to say?
Andrea said, what's the difference with relapse? Well, just what she just said. You broke that down.
Because in bargaining, you're willing to do anything to accept that it's over. But in the relapse, you're gonna do whatever it takes, your best efforts to carry the whole relationship solo. So it's like
it's all the same. It's synonymous. Okay.
They're slightly different because the pain is so intolerable during the relapse part that you may actually be able to convince your ex to try again. And by doing so, you will temporarily relieve the agony of the withdrawal. However, you will promise to carry the relationship solo, but you're not going to be able to. So I'm sorry to say it probably won't end well this time.
So I'll read those. Go ahead.
Okay. So in the initial acceptance, number 6, it says that this kind of acceptance, that when it happens early in the process, can feel more like a surrender. What do you think?
Feel like a surrender?
Yeah, you're holding up your end of the breakup because you have to, not because you want to. Either you or your ex has developed enough awareness and control at this point to recognize that you are not meant to be. Over time, this initial, often tenuous acceptance becomes more substantive as both of you begin to recognize independently that there are boundaries that at least one of you must maintain in order for the breakup to stick.
Andrea said, can't relapse be engaging with another person without acceptance of the current piece?
Yeah. It can.
Yeah,
right now we're talking about relapse going back to the same person.
Right.
Because they don't want to accept the fact that it's over.
Right.
So they're going to pull all the rabbits out their ass to promise that it's going to be better this time.
A lot of us do that. A lot of us, when you think sometimes, right, you love that person, and you think you just need to make another shot at it. You might have kids or whatever, and you say, well, I'm going to put all into it and try to make it work. And even though it doesn't make...
You didn't read her last line, and I want you to read it because...
It's in Spanish. I can't read it.
That's why I want you to read it.
Un clavo saca otro clavo. What the hell?
My God. One nail removes another. So that's the saying that we have. Un clavo
Hold on. I know what that means. It means one nail removes another. Dun, dun, dun.
You know what that means, really?
No.
If we break up, then I'm going to go with another person because then that will keep you off my mind. It'll remove you from my thoughts.
Yes. So you
Un clavo saca otro clavo.
That means it go to one motherfucker to the next?
No, that's not what it is. See, you just warp everything. Go continue.
Oh, excuse me. I like that, Andrea. Un clavo saca otro clavo.
You said it right, but I guess my...
Mucho telemundo.
Come on. So that's the acceptance.
Woo!
And the last one that I have on this...
She's so serious today.
Redirected hope.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you were leveled by the breakup and have difficulty letting go.
Mm-hmm.
In part because it shattered your relationship with hope.
Mm-hmm.
As acceptance deepens, moving forward requiring redirecting your feelings of hope from the belief that you can single-handedly save a failing relationship.
Yeah. I think a lot of people.
What did you do when you started noticing the morning kiss no longer was there? When you came home from work, hello, hon, how are you? How was your day?
In any relationship that you've been in, you can see things when things are changing.
But the thing is, fine. That's not what I'm saying. Is why didn't you act then? So you can learn each other and try to salvage it. Because I think a lot
of times, even when you notice something, no matter what relationship it is, when you notice something, that doesn't mean you have the capacity or the know-how to intervene or intercede at that point in time.
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe that if you love somebody and they're worth it, they're worth your time and effort. Because I could be the problem and not realize it, but because we are drifting apart, we're not really coming forward to each other, right?
Right.
So one of us should say, hey, I'm noticing a distance. There's like a code. There's no...
But the person got to be willing to do that or know to do so.
But that's what I'm saying, coño. Listen. It's not about who's trying to do it or not. The thing is, if you're acting like all of this right here,
mm-hmm.
which is foolish...
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you do something during? Because we can do something during. When you love someone and you're still in life, always is going to beat you up. So when you're in a relationship, there's going to be work. There's going to be house chores, cars break, the kids here or there. Anything, the menopause. Let's just blame it on menopause right now.
You blame everything on menopause.
I know menopause is just like my... It's that fault. There has to be conversation.
Okay.
There has to be conversation to say, listen, you don't kiss me when you come home from work anymore. Or, I'm not excited to make dinner like I used to for us to sit down across from each other and talk about our day. What's going on?
Okay.
I've had those conversations, first of all, because anybody who knows me know I will talk you to death.
No,
and I want
you would never do that.
I'm a very inquisitive person.
Talk somebody to death.
So I am going to ask that. If you matter to me, I'm going to ask that.
Okay.
I'm going to find out what's going on with us.
So you're saying
¿Qué pasa?
That if you care about somebody, you're willing to take that step or have the energy to ask or be more inquisitive, to ask questions about what's going on in the relationship, rather than just sitting here and watching it.
I can't sit down. I'm Puerto Rican and Italian. I can't even. You know what? When I know that I shouldn't be vocal in someone else's issue, or if someone's coming by and I'm like, okay, Margie, you really just gotta stay cool. You know what I have to do? You know what I have to do?
What?
I have to sit on my hands. I have to sit on my hands.
Not to say something?
And then I can't talk.
And just don't say nothing?
I can't. I'll try, but I can't.
And that lasts for how long?
Not too long. But, so I'm going to address whatever makes me uncomfortable. And if my person that I love and that I sleep with, and that I am my most vulnerable with it, which is when I'm sleeping with you. If I feel that there's some distance going on, I'm gonna approach you on it. We don't even have to be living together. Some people know. I'll be like, "What's up? What's going on?"
Queen Max says,
why do you think we brought up that he's just not that into you?
Right.
Because it's important for you to understand where you're at.
What was said, that Queen Max says, sometimes the good times, people they romanticize about the good times and forget about the bad. You have a right.
You are right.
That people try to circumvent.
Small problems before they blow up to the relationship. And yes.
Right.
Who said that?
Queenie Mac.
Okay.
Queenie Mac.
Absolutely, because so you really can't blame your partner when he decides to say, "I'm done. I don't want to do this no more," because it's a partnership, and that's what they forget. That's the key word. That's the operative word here is a partnership, whether you're just dating, whether you're married. You both have to be aware of your relationship. It's like a full-time job as well. But on top of it, love should be so beautiful. The love that you have and how you started should always remain. Because life is going to beat you up. It's going to knock you down. There's going to be so much bullshit in between. But that connection of that love, of that childish laughter that you share.
Right, but what we're talking about is on the end part. So then on the end part, you don't feel that no more. You're not feeling
because
that
you didn't do the work when it first started crumbling.
The work day wasn't done. So now what do I do now? The work wasn't done. We're at the end part of it. And then we're almost done. I'm not sure. The person's not sure. Where do you go from there? And that was the title of this. Yeah. So where do you
gotta give yourself a break.
There you go.
This pain is going to be disruptive. And uncertainty means that recovering from a breakup or divorce can be difficult. And it will take time. Depends how your spirit is. Some people are stronger than others. Don't take offense. However, it's important to keep reminding yourself that you can and you will get through this.
Go.
Because you have to get yourself through this. You can't rely on your counselor. You can't rely on your mother. You can't rely on anybody. You have to do the work to get yourself through this.
So does that mean that I sit in my own bubble and I try to figure this out myself?
No.
But I gotta say that.
What I'm saying is nobody.
Mira, when I ask you something, you can't get mad at me just because I asked you a fucking question.
I'm not.
Damn it, Marjorie.
You have... I want you. I advise you to seek out a friend, seek out maybe a professional, seek out a family member that you trust that's going to give you solid advice.
Right.
And not even that, but just to be your paño de lágrima. Just someone. Sometimes we don't need somebody to talk to us about something. What we need is somebody to just listen to us and let us vent and let us cry. And maybe even scream in the safety of
Teacher,
them.
I have a question. I got a question. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course, I want questions.
Okay. What is the Pamelina?
The what?
Pamelina.
What's a Pamelina?
Andrea, tell me, what's the Pamelina?
You heard her say
you
something?
You said to be... No, you said it. You said to be your Pamelina. You said they could... Oh,
no!
And even your Pamelina!
Your
Pamelina!
Paño de lágrima!
What the fuck is that?
It's like your handkerchief for the tears.
Andrea said no clue.
It is a paño de lágrima, coño.
What is that?
It's just somebody to be there, like a
buddy?
Like a handkerchief for your tears.
Like a little doll or something?
No, it's just like for your somebody who's gonna be there to wipe your tears from you.
Oh, they're not like a little doll or something, right?
No.
A pano de lágrima?
Paño de lágrima.
Oh, okay, like a buddy. My buddy.
So anyway,
buddy,
so after the tips for the grieving after the breakup would be, I don't know what's going on with Byron tonight. But he's been like loopy, and I'm gonna say that this champagne has me feeling very nice right now, and it is a shoulder to cry on. So, what is it?
Yes. We're not giving them free things.
No, show them what it is.
Why? So, we show some people gonna say, man, that cheap shit. Or they're gonna say, well, that's some nice shit. So whatever we drinking ain't none of your goddamn.
So anyway, allowing yourself to feel the pain of these losses may be scary. You may fear that your emotions will be too intense to bear, or that you'll be stuck in a dark place forever. I'm trying to close out.
Bernice is talking bad about me.
Bernice, déjalo quieto, por favor.
What's that?
Leave you alone. No, I would never say that to Denise.
Bernice, what's that?
So just remember that grieving is essential to the healing process. My God.
What?
You're making me look bad to somebody who's watching us for the first time today.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay.
So anyway, you'll be stuck in a dark place forever. So just remember that grieving is an essential part to healing. The pain of grease is precisely what helps you to let go of the old
He said that's cheap shit.
Henny, really? Then bring me a bottle of champagne tonight. Come over tonight, Henny, and bring me something to celebrate Eric's birthday. Huh? I'm gonna wait for you, Henny. So don't fight your feelings, mi gente.
Okay.
It's normal to have lots of ups and downs. Talk about how you're feeling, even if it's difficult for you to talk about your feelings with other people. Don't feel ashamed. Don't be scared. Don't feel that if you say something, then you won't be able to go back and fix it. Because at the end of the day, mi gente, if you both are equally willing to work it out.
Both. BOFF. Both.
Don't give a shit about what people are saying.
So get him an Uber driver.
That's Victor. That's the friend that's watching for the first time.
Why does it keep coming up with Stephanie?
Because that's my business.
Why are you using the alias,
anyway,
Victor? Okay, is that your boyfriend?
No.
Is that your boyfriend?
No, it's not.
Why are you glowing? No. Oh my God, no. Is that the guy who never texts you?
It's my husband's birthday, and you're asking me about a boyfriend.
Your husband, sorry, your husband is dead, okay? Sorry.
Anyway, talk about how you're feeling, even if it's difficult. Remember that moving on is the end goal, right? Even expressing your feelings will liberate you in a way, but it's most important not to dwell on the negative feelings. Because when you are trying to rekindle something that is broken, trying to glue that shit back together, right? What happens?
Well, something is broken? You're trying to put it back together?
When something is broken and it's just not going to work out, you only remember the good memories.
Right. That's
you
what
don't remember the bad. Yeah, you don't remember the bad that got you there. So that when moving on, when that person just don't want to deal with you, you have to keep in mind that it is the end goal. Not that you're moving on to go to the gym, to slim up, color your hair differently, do your makeup differently, all of that. That's not moving on. That's still trying to entrap that person to say, oh, look, she looks cute today.
Oh, I hear what you're saying.
Maybe I should give her another chance or give him another chance. Remind yourself that you still have a future. That person was not born with you, nor will that person die with you. So you have to understand that sometimes in our lifetime, there are paths that we must travel alone. And we're going to travel with it, with pain, with sorrow, with a whole bunch of grief. And maybe we're not going to have a shoulder to cry on when that happens. But remember, what did I say in one of my first podcasts? You will always have yourself. And if you self-love and self-trust yourself, this clown is really throwing me off. And this is a very, very important subject. You are very late, Jolly Vet. And I had you in mind when I was doing this podcast today. Okay? Pero ya te lo perdiste and you're going to have to wait for the YouTube. Remind yourself that you still have a future, right? So when you commit to another person, you create many hopes and dreams for a life together.
Just the last one?
Okay, after a breakup, it's hard to let these aspirations go. So as you grieve the loss of the future one you envision, be encouraged by the fact that new hopes and dreams, and maybe the one that you were supposed to grow old with. Maybe the person that you're with now is just teaching you good and bad lessons so that when that perfect person comes to you, you're gonna better know how to navigate. So
you're saying when you with somebody, you should just be planning for the next person?
No. What I'm saying is if you are with someone, you should pay attention. You should learn them. They should learn you. That's the whole process of being together. You should learn the good with the bad. And then when that breaks up, don't think that it's the end of the world, because maybe that person was your reason to teach you and to prepare you for that soulmate that is actually meant for you. And when that person comes, you're going to be so mentally and spiritually prepared without even knowing, because subconsciously you're going to be. That you're going to appreciate them, you're going to love them with all their flaws, and they are going to give you the greatest love back that you're just not going to know what to do. Okay, he's rushing me. So, know the difference between normal reaction to a breakup and depression. because grief can be paralyzing after a breakup. And he's rushing me, so we're going to end that part there. But before we close, I do want to read something.
Well, go ahead and read something.
Okay, because we are a little over.
Like I didn't know you was going to do that.
And I'm going to read just this thing that I saw today.
I didn't see that.
Cállate. So it says, I did see it. I did see it after it was written. I saw it.
What the fuck it? Okay, go ahead, read it.
So it says, and I joined him at the hip. So it says, today is his birthday. He would have been 52 years young. And if I break up when I'm reading this, just keep listening. Happy birthday, you. Today I feel wonderful and at peace with my memories of him, with my life today. I live with the fears, the tears, the sorrow, and anger the entire time ALS held us against our will. And although we were living the life, the marriage, living, walking, talking in our truths, it was not his choice. We did not get to design our lifestyle until we were forced to begin construction without a floor plan, right? So we did it. There were days I sounded like I developed Tourette syndrome. And I found myself yelling, whispering, crying out, fuck my life. Fuck my life. Other days I was walking in the shadows of Mother Teresa, being totally of service, tending to all of his needs with grace, love, and gratitude. And I say needs because he hardly ever asked for any wants. My development of Tourette's was born when I felt helpless, when I did everything possible to have him healed, cured, relieved of this fucking beast, destructor of lives and the thief of dreams. We shared beautiful days, more so than not. He and I would sing out of tune since we were both tone deaf. This is so true. We would share stories of our past that were funny or full of victories. Stories that were most likely saved for these specific moments because they were like the miracle that got us through the darkness. Today, as I sit here celebrating his second birthday without him, I am experiencing many emotions. Peace, sadness, hope, and understanding. You see, I am comforted by all of these emotions because he journeyed to the afterlife on his terms. When I found him that morning, I was devastated, screaming, running through the house, returning to him, scooping him up into my arms and calling for him to wake up. I did this about 7 times before I even called anyone. Once I called the loved ones, I called hospice. I then returned to the room and looked at him. Like I really looked at him through my tears, and my spirit was filled with the brightest ray of light as a gentle peace filled my being, and I realized why. He had a beautiful and peaceful look, a look of a person who is in a profound slumber. And I knew at that moment that Jesus came to meet him, at that most vulnerable moment for all of us humans, and guided Eric home. Praise to God. In closing, I would like to say love loud, love deep, love hard, love with no conditions, for love simply is. I finally found my soulmate, and just like a sappy love story, someone died. We were joined at the hip for many reasons, love being the main one. Happy birthday, my husband, my friend, my soulmate, my little baby. I will love you forever. And here he is. Vicky, hola, you came so late, Maron. So on that note, Namaste, mi gente. Thank you for joining us with La Margarita and...
Listen, before we go, Friday evening, it should be around 7-ish. We're going to do another one, okay? Friday. So y'all be ready for us.
7? No.
7?
No. I have an ALS fundraiser at 6:30.
Oh, so
I can be here by 8.
8 o'clock?
Okay, let me say something, mi gente.
No, you can put me out
He
there.
has changed.
No, you, goddamn it. I just sit there and listen to her dissertation about her dear husband.
Connecticut loves you,
So
Namaste.
we love you. We love y'all all. Friday, we're gonna put the times up. Look for that little bleep thing that comes on your phone. We'll tell you the time. It's gonna be Friday evening for sure. Be ready to go. Listen up. We love all of y'all. This was absolutely wonderful. You did a wonderful job.
Was it wonderful?
Wonderful. And the drinks was great.
Yeah, because I'm feeling very good right now. Where is, like, I need somebody here with me right now.
I'm going home. Shit. She be buying some picking her nose and shit. I'm so lonely. Oh my God.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Oh my God, what's happening?
Oh my God, you are just...
Oh my God.
Tommy, welcome.
It's okay.
This fool.
You ain't gotta tell me. Stop past you.